Welcome to the League of Free Worlds Information System.
Welcome back, future viewers. Well, I have been absent for a little while. I've had a few not-so-good days, but hopefully we can tighten up the update schedule for at least a little while. But that's talking about the future, and who knows about that. I can, however, say that right now, we're going to take a look at another sort of side path, which you get to by either losing in Draco or winning in Diomedes.
The League was in trouble. We were realizing the scale of the threat against us, and confidence was evaporating. Self-belief was draining from my comrades and myself. And from what I heard, there were those in the fleet that even blamed the Father himself. Now we were heading for the Alpha Centauri system, where civil war raged between League supporters and Empire loyalists. They had been fighting for a long time, and each side had its own tales of atrocity to tell. In truth, no one really knew what we were going to find.
Panic transmissions frequently broadcast from isolated areas within the Alpha Centauri system indicate massive internal conflict. There are no secure areas within this system. All League compounds are subject to constant harassment. However, the system's proximity to the Sol system gives it considerable strategic importance. Current data indicates a League destroyer entering the system requires armed support. It is some distance from Vergia in the region of a League battle platform. Intermittent reports suggest a struggle is underway. Locate the League destroyer and provide full military cover. Engage and destroy all hostile craft in the vicinity.
At this point, we have entered Disc 2 of the game. That's generally where we find the final, I'll say, the final few acts of a particular branch. I would say the final star system, but some of the star systems have not had many missions on them. This is a little bit bigger than that.
We are under attack from several Navy vessels and apparently unresponsive League units. Please assist.
Well, that's new. That's a bit of a clue. And if you aren't paying attention to that, there's going to be trouble. But right now the trouble is those Stormlords. Because as usual, it's the fighters that we need to work on, yes, but also worry about when defending a capital ship. Fortunately, these are not responding, at least. Also, landing a triple laser volley on those things is pretty satisfying. And there's gonna be plenty to bother us this time. By the way, when I said non-responding, I was actually kinda lying to you. One Stormlord will respond, so there's always one on the map. So when we get to that point, we're gonna have to start aiming at capital ships. Plural? Did I just give something away? Oh well.
This is command.
Also, for times like that where you just can't seem to hit a ship that's going for a defense target, missiles are, as always, nice. So, reinforcements, yes. Very important to pay attention to those reinforcements. Yep, there it comes, that big blue ship over there. That's a League design, alright. You see its name, Faction Frigate? Well, all you have to do is note that it's shooting at you, and hopefully that's enough of a clue that those aren't your reinforcements that are coming. Fortunately, as a League design, its health is not great. Finally, that's working in your favor for once.
Vital units. Our shields are down. This vicinity cleared.
Because cool pilots don't look at explosions. They have more important things to do. That's one down.
Destroyed.
And that one would spawn Dark Angels until it was taken down. The good news is that the mission ends immediately when you destroy all the capital ships. Because if you had to destroy the fighters afterwards, there's a decent chance you'd lose your destroyer, and that would, well, that would be not great. So I'm still a little bit shaky at cycling between weapons for the best DPS, and that's going to be fairly important in the late missions.
Docking sequence
But yeah,
initiated.
they throw you into a pretty difficult situation right from the start in this star system, and there's a good reason for that. You've probably figured it out already, but they're going to explain it as we go.
Repeated battle summaries received from isolated League units mention the presence of an unidentified force assisting Navy attacks. Unconfirmed reports indicate the involvement of League pilots previously believed to be missing in action. The possibility of a traitor group fighting with the enemy seems likely. A cruiser belonging to this group has been detected in the Vergia zone. A League cruiser has been commissioned to approach and engage this hostile craft, as we cannot afford such an increase in enemy involvement. You are required to join the League cruiser with the aim of providing armed support in this mission. The traitor cruiser must be destroyed.
Yep, we're dealing with a splinter faction. And as the name of that ship last mission stated, they call themselves the Faction. Well, it's easy to remember at least. So we are in that heavy bombing, it's weird to call it a bombing fighter, that's just a bomber. But maybe heavy support is the right way to put it, sure. But yeah, we have a craft appropriate for the mission, so that's always welcome. Oh wow, did I actually hit with the plasma cannons? That did a pretty quick job. Anyway, it'll keep launching chimeras, so we should take it down quickly. Fortunately, the plasma cannon is very good at that.
We will follow and support.
It does run away pretty fast, which is a scripted thing, as far as I can tell.
Uh-oh, trouble.
And there it
This
is.
is command. All enemy and traitor craft are
Yeah.
to be destroyed. Extreme measures
So
permitted.
this is the sort of situation that we should really expect here. Like, we're going to have, as last mission, Traitor League reinforcements joining in on battles with the Navy, and of course Navy jumping in to support any Traitor League groups that we managed to track down. I think it makes a lot of sense for these missions to be tough, because the League traders probably have some access to our orders and general planning and deployment. Yeah, I imagine that things are pretty messy elsewhere in Alpha Centauri as well. Fortunately, on this map, we have more than enough firepower to deal with both of these ships. I'm not entirely sure what I bumped into there, but fortunately, it was too late to interfere with anything.
Docking sequence initiated.
Well, I guess missions of that difficulty are to be expected when we're reaching the end of a major plot branch. And there's plenty of missions to go, even though I said we're almost at the end. This this faction plot branch is actually fairly lengthy and in-depth. I kind of like it.
The prevailing situation in the Alpha Centauri system remains highly unstable. The defense of League craft attempting to establish high-level supply and communication links remains a priority. A docked communications craft is required to leave the system, as it is currently stocked with encrypted data blocks. These are to be delivered to the League Central Data Exchange. Once launched from its current position, it must reach its target warp hole safely. Navy activity in the region is heavy. Effective support will be required. Protect this comms craft from hostile units, and ensure its passage to the warp hole is clear.
This is a mission that's going to branch the Alpha Centauri scenario further forward depending on which way it goes, because this particular comms craft is the one that has information on the faction situation. And if that gets knocked out and Command is not informed about what's going on, well, rather than describing it myself, next video I'm going to show you both cutscenes on whether you succeed or fail, and you tell me how significant it is. But for now, I'll just show you how to complete the mission. I also show some interesting things about how a few types of ship work. Now in this one we're in a medium interceptor, which is actually the correct kind of ship for what we're doing here. Yep, Vampire, League craft. But whenever a craft opens a jump gate in this game, you know it's not friendly. I also have to be very careful with these, because it turns out that our superiority over Navy fighters is not all just the player advantage. It turns out that they are actually better in general than Navy stuff. And the reason I can say that with some confidence is, you know that trick I'm doing where you damage a fighter enough that it starts attacking you instead of your defensive target? That has to be done with care in this mission, because the vampires attack very fast and aggressively, and they will do a lot of damage. Oh, there goes the starport I just left. Oops.
Hey, that battleship's just sitting there. Why isn't it moving to a
Yeah. Well, for some reason it decided to go for my defensive target anywhere there. I think the stun missile might have had something to do with it. Anyway, I have to be very careful and maybe even a little bit sparing on using that trick on this map, because the vampires are actually very good interceptors against you.
skirt around, but siren weapons may be in place. Get in there and clear the way.
So, that's how sirens work. They use that grapple technology to pull a capital ship into mines. That's actually pretty neat. The good news is that jump gate is pretty far away from where we are, so we don't have to immediately worry about that respawn. And that's good, because we have to be pretty quick about taking out these sirens. I don't know how exactly they pulled the capital ships so quickly, but, well, the whole thing is probably just one large tractor or grappling platform with a couple of guns sort of slapped on the side. Its defenses are pretty clearly weak, but it must have some sort of cloaking even after it decloaks, because capital ships never seem to shoot at it. What I find interesting is that it kind of answers the questions of how mines would be used in space. You'd have to use a ridiculous number of them to cover enough ground to prevent the movement of a starship. And it turns out, no, you don't have to do that if you also include something that can just pull a ship into them. So I gotta give credit to the designers for thinking of something like that. Now, if you've been listening a little bit, you can hear how much that vampire has been shooting at me. It's kind of a lot. I believe that's the last of the sirens, so I don't have to worry too much about anything else. I just have to keep myself alive. The Comscraft has enough durability that a vampire won't be able to take it down that fast. Oh hey, now that the sirens are gone, that battleship is all like, oh wait, the plan didn't work. We better charge in. But it's too late. Actually, I probably could take down a destroyer in this ship if I was careful enough about it. Its gun placement is a little awkward for taking down a fighter craft. And there it goes.
This is Command. Communications craft has successfully breached warp hole. Mission complete. Vacate the area now and return to base.
Jump gate open.
Also, this is just a personal thing, but I think it feels pretty good to change your direction just a little bit and see all of those capital ship laser bolts just fly around you. That's a movie moment, I guess. Well, that's the first part of the Alpha Centauri arc. There's going to be some more interesting stuff as we go, so I hope you'll stick with this playthrough. And of course, this video would not be complete without a little bit of background information, so once we're done saving, let's take a look at the Alpha Centauri system, find out what the game has to say about it.
Gallinair system. Alpha Centauri system. Alpha Centauri was the first solar system outside Sol to be colonized. Expansion beyond the home system was essential for the nascent empire, as its practice of raiding planets and extracting all usable resources was rapidly exhausting those planets it colonized. The system is now experiencing a vicious civil war between planets loyal to the Empire and those whose loyalties lie with the League of Free Worlds.
Must make the Navy pretty nervous to have a civil war that close to Sol.
The warp hole from Sol was breached in 4175 AD, and the planet Erato was colonized the same year. The final planet to be colonized was Vergia in 4234, although by this time the Empire was already planning expansion much further afield. The current civil war has repercussions for both the Empire and the League, as the system's proximity to Sol makes it of great strategic importance. Data traps have collected a number of encoded briefings detailing the Empire's concern over the future of Alpha Centauri. Chief amongst these was Memo X33RTY, which clearly stated that obliteration of the entire system would be considered if it fell to the League.
Alpha Centauri is generally heavily defended by the Empire. However, the League has the advantage of controlling a number of bases and some hardware within the system. Detailed information regarding Empire activities is available, although decoy data transmissions are known to be frequent.
Annihilating the entire system, huh? But you know,
Alpha Centauri.
with Alpha Centauri being probably very far from Gal and Ayer and possibly isolated from them for a while, it kind of makes sense that we'd have a splinter faction because they might have developed their own ideas about how they should be running things, and then in comes the League fleet probably giving orders all over the place. Although, I think that kind of resentment does not quite explain what's been going on today. Maybe we'll find out more as we go. Anyway, thanks for watching. I will see you next time.